one. Today we are going to talk about idol worship, idolatry, adoration. Okay? So the question today is, what do you worship? Okay, here we have the question. All right, let's start. Well known by people from the ancient times that people attribute magical significance to many phenomena, and all of the time we are looking for an almighty that controls our lives and fixes our problems and solves all of our situations. And well, in some cultures there have been not only religions but also mythical characters. Do you know anything about the Greek culture? Here we are. The Greek culture. What do you know about them? Hector, what's your opinion?
I think I admire the Aztec and the Mayan cultures because they can manage, they can read the stars, they can predict movements of the planets, and they can design pyramids in order to register this kind of movements. For example, when the spring starts, you can see as Kukul can fell down from the pyramid.
That's it. I think, yes. Wow, so they were very good architects. They made impressive monuments and buildings, and they could predict many things. So yes, they were very wise people, and they had a very advanced engineering for its time, for their time. All right, thank you very much. Okay, please tell me, who's your victim?
Francisco Javier.
Thank you.
I'd like to talk about the Egyptian culture.
All right.
So I think they were an advanced culture, so they were living years in the future compared to other civilizations. They started to build some magnificent structures like the pyramids. So the pyramids were more like how do you say obra de arte?
A masterpiece.
A masterpiece. Primero que nada, disculpe. It was a mausoleum or some kind of tomb for the kings, but it hides some treasures and all kind of stuff.
And do you know why? Why did they have all of those treasures inside the pyramids?
They believe that they can buy a pass for the afterlife. It was a payment for the gods of the afterlife.
So that's why they had all of their possessions with them.
Yes, and there were also mummy cats.
Mummy cats?
Yeah, A lot of them.
Very good. But why? Why cats?
Cats were personalization of
Impersonation?
Impersonation, yeah, of the divine. So they believe cats were more like a partner in the afterlife.
Wow. Hey, that's pretty interesting. Thank you very much. All right, that was pretty good. All right, Francisco, please tell me, who's your victim?
Anna.
Thank you. Anna, welcome.
Hello, Maggie. I don't know how's the question.
We are talking about worshiping, how people believe in idols. And we are talking about some cultures in the past. For example, the ancient Greek. Look at this here, they are Zeus and Aphrodite and Juno and the faun. Some of them were also, for example, the almighty, the powerful Egyptians. We have, of course, the very wise and the very important, impressive, interesting Aztecs. So if you want to share any acknowledgement that you have about any culture, it's okay, welcome.
Okay, well, I know to the Mayans. The Mayans, your knowledge about the numbers in this time is important because this knowledge they actually use these bases of ideas and culture about this the Mayans. While the Mexican people are for the Aztecs, but it's important to feel honor for this, for culture.
Hey, that's it. Thank you. Thank you very much. That was pretty interesting. Please tell me, who's next?
Jose Luis.
Q?
Jose Luis.
Okay. Well, I know something about the Greek Greek culture or Greek gods like Zeus. He was the father of all the gods, and his wife Hera. And I know Poseidon, he's the sea god, and I don't remember another god, but that's what I know about the Greek.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Jose Luis. You know what? I remember also about the Greeks that they were very, how could I say this? If I don't want to sound it like perverse, but yes, they were a little perverse because they were, for example, Zeus had children with many women. Hera was very angry because of the betrayal of her husband, and she converted some of the children in half human, half beast, and so it was little. I don't know, complicated to believe or to understand about the Greek theogony, who was the father of who, and he was married with a human person, and Like this. All right. Thank you very much, Jose Luis. Tell me, who's your victim?
Who's missing? Juan de Dios?
Yes, of course. Well, about the Greek culture, I like, as you say, I remember the story from the gods, but and especially like some character like Hercules. He's Zeus' son, and well, there are too many movies about him, and he was a hero. I remember that all the stories about the Greek culture um, have a heroes. Well, I think that they believe in those type of history with happy ends, and there and they were very, I don't know, they study a lot. They were philosophies. This is the way to say that.
Philosophers.
Yes, and they have a lot of laws about their society. They control their society with those laws. I think. Sorry. Those laws, and I think that is very special about this civilization. Well, and I like very too much. I like too much the society, the Mexican society.
All right, thank you very much. Juan de Dios, please tell me, who's your victim?
Let me check. Maybe. Let me check. Maybe Carlos.
All right, thank you. Carlos.
Okay. I would like to about Atlantida.
Wow.
And I don't know how can I say the Isla Perdida.
The Lost Island.
Yes, because Atlantis placing it in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Está en medio estaba. It was in the middle of ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and between Africa and continente americano.
The American continent.
American continent, yes. And it was how can I say ciudad? City lost or lost city?
A lost city.
A lost city. I don't know, llegó a dominar o fue una ciudad muy con mucho poderío.
It was a powerful town. They were powerful people.
Yeah, existió 9,000 años antes.
It existed.
It existed.
9,000
years before the, I don't know, época.
State.
De legislador ateniense Solón se llama.
Oh my, hey, that's a very nice data. Thank you very much. Yes. So you know what? I was reading an article time ago about some of the Mesoamerican cultures, the towns, the people who were living from the very early past in the towns in Mesoamerica. And so they said a very common story. The Olmeca, they said that Olmeca means the youngest brother. And they say that they were living in harmony with their family when suddenly an earthquake, a catastrophe, shaken his world, and it was drawn into the sea. And so they were lost. The brothers were lost and separated in the crisis, in the catastrophe. They said that they were living in 7 concentric islands. The Navajo Indians in North America say that Navajo means eldest brother. And they say that they were living in an island, in 7 stock island. And suddenly there was a crisis, there was a catastrophe, and they were separated. And Inca means the middle brother. And so they said that they were separated by their brothers during a catastrophe, and that they were living in a place with 7 principal places. So for me, it was very impressive because all of the stories coincide. And so it may be true, the theory of the Pangea, that the world was in only one continent, and little by little it was breaking down. And maybe Lost Atlantida was the original town for Navajos, Olmecas, and Incas. Well, that's what I think.
Wow, that seems interesting.
Yeah, too much. All right, thank you very much. Now we want to listen to Omar. Hey, Omar, Omar.
Thanks, teacher. Good night.
Good evening.
I'm sorry we're late today.
It's okay. Don't worry.
About all civilizations, I don't know so much, but I guess I know that the Egyptian, for example, was a civilization that invented the beer. And they are very famous because they built the Great Pyramids, Egyptian pyramids, and they too was conquered by Romans, and I don't remember the century. And later, much later, for the French people, for Napoleon. And I guess it's all I remember about the Egyptian in a specific group.
That's it. Thank you very much, Omar. You know what? All of these towns, all of these people had something in common. And it was that all of the towns, all of the people needed for a supreme power, somebody to control, who controls the lives of all men. And so they had some idols, for example, Quetzalcoatl in our culture, in our Aztec culture. Some of the idols were Quetzalcoatl, Huitzilopochtli, Tezcatlipoca, Tlaloc, and some others. In the Mayan culture, we had also Kukulkan, and we have the mythical Balaam. And in the Greek culture, they had the fauns, they have Hercule, Aphrodite, and many personages they worshipped. Okay, so that's what I would like to share, that it is a common factor. Well, it was in the past, but what happened in the present? What happens? Can't you see? The Rat Temple in India. Nowadays, people gather together in India. I don't remember when and what time. I think it is by noon. But they put enormous piles with milk for feeding the rats. And all the temple is full of rats. And you have to be very careful when you walk, because it is a sin if you hurt any rat. So a person can be hurt, can die, and nothing ever happens. But if a rat dies, Jesus Christ, it is a tremendous problem, because rats are bringing benefits to people, and they talk to God for asking for protection to those people. Well, that's the belief. What do you think about this, Carlos? About this or any other town, any other people in the world?
Sorry, teacher, can you repeat me that?
Oh, yes, of course. Do you know about any different practice in the world? For example, like this, the rat temple in India, something that you know in any other part of the world?
No, teacher, I don't know. But I remember about in Mexico, like Santa Muerte.
That's idolatry.
Something like that.
Worshipping.
Yes.
I am afraid of that. I'm very coward. I'm a chicken. All right, Carlos, thank you. Yes.
But something similar. I don't know. I don't remember what country they. How can I say? Hacen idolatran a los puercos.
They worship pigs.
They worship pigs. Yes, I don't remember, but I remember that.
That's it. All right, Carlos, thank you very much. Okay, tell me, who's
You're
next?
Welcome. Anna.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, partner. Well, the question is about India or every country?
It can be about any other culture, any other place. Even if you want to talk about something that happens in Mexico, it's okay.
Okay. I think, well, in this country, the Judaism religion and the woman to have to tapada la cara, covers the face, is difficult for the women.
It's a sign of modesty. So, yeah, you know what? Time ago, it was a regulation. It was mandatory that women wear that kind of clothes. But nowadays, it is not mandatory. It is optional. So if they want to wear it, it's okay. If they don't want to, nothing happens. So their culture has also changed a lot.
Okay, it's very good. And I remember that in Africa, the women cut the hymen for the child. Is very faithful.
Yes. I think that yes.
It's an I think in this moment I remember.
All right, thank you very much, Anna. Yes, nowadays it uses to happen in Somalia, for example. There are many people who are immigrating to England from Somalia and through France. And in some of those countries, that infibulation is prohibited. It is forbidden. Parents are not permitted to do that to their children. But if they go to Somalia to visit their family or something like that, then it is good. It is permitted. Yes, that's it.
In this moment, the children have possibilities for the code the email.
That seems to be cruel. All right, Anna, thank you very much. Who's next, Anna?
Hector.
Okay, thank you. Monse, welcome.
Hi. Good night, everyone.
Good evening. You know what? We are going to listen to Hector to participate so that you listen what we are talking about and can give us your opinion. Right?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I would like to speak about Nahuatl. Nahuatl is a person who combats, who changes in animal.
Oh,
according with the Hispanic mythology, they have the capacity to change and adopt a form of dogs, of cats, whatever animal.
And what are they supposed?
In some, they have special powers. I don't know. I think it's a legend, no? But in some places in Mexico, the people believes deeply in them, in Nahuatl.
Yes, that's it. Don't you know if they are harmful? Do they damage people, or do they steal things, or what do they do?
In some cases, people say that they can hurt or they can kill you, and I'm not more sure, but in some cases, in some places, people says and believes in them.
You know what? People say many things that they have listened from their ancestors. For example, their grandparents, their great-grandparents, and from other members of their family. I remember that time ago, my grandmother, my granny, told me about the Nahuales. And she told me that they were common people. So you can't distinguish who is a Nahual and who isn't. And so, well,
yes, they live with you and you can identify them.
Oh my, that's so interesting. All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Hector, who's next?
Montserrat.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think that you are talking about the animals that are considered like holy in some countries, or that they care so much.
Yeah, we are talking about worshipping, idolatry.
Idolatry. It's a hard topic.
Yes.
Idolatry only with animals?
No, I guess that there are many different kinds of idolatry. We could mention many of them.
Sometimes people or artists or I don't know, religion is not so good and it's converted to something not so nice.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to talk about, the cows or the monkey or the rats?
Well, I wanted to, well, this was something like a question or a topic that would encourage you to speak about something that you know or something that you would like to know. It is also good to say, I don't know anything about this topic, but I'm very curious. So if somebody knows, please tell me. It can also be.
Okay, I don't know why they eat idolatry or feed the rats. I think that is so difficult to see. I hate the rats.
Yeah, it is kind of disgusting.
Yes, I think that is a very difficult animal, and in this photography you can see that they feed them with milk.
Yes, they do.
A very good food, and in some countries it's very difficult to buy that, so it is very difficult to think it about.
Yeah, it is because they, yes.
And for the idolatry, I don't know, maybe I am seeing some idolatry by the president sometimes, or by some artists, and some people they are just blind and they idolatry a lot of people. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're right. I totally agree with you. Okay, Monse, please tell me, who's next?
Carlos is already talking?
By this topic, I guess he hasn't.
Okay, Jose Luis?
All right.
Thank you.
And thanks to you.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know something about worship or that's a hard topic for me, but I maybe I can talk about Maria Sabina. She was considered a shaman, and she used hallucinogenic mushrooms. Did I say it well?
Yes, it's okay.
Yes, and yeah, for heal people and only for this, for that, for heal people for some diseases or something like that, and the people loved her so much, and that's all.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, she used these mushrooms for healing people. You know what? I knew that even there came some celebrities, for example, John Lennon. He came to see Maria Sabina.
Yes. Yes.
Jim Morrison.
Jim Morrison. She had a lot of followers, and she still has. Because her granddaughter still do that with the mushrooms.
So she inherited the tradition to her granddaughter.
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that. I thought that she was died and that was all. She finished. No. But no, good. All right. Thank you very much, Jose Luis. Didi, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. You know what? Today we are talking about worshiping. What do people worship? Do you know anything about this topic?
I love the animals, all the animals.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's great to different beliefs or religion or faith or whatever.
That's it. Viri, I have a question for you. Nowadays, there are many people who they don't have children, they didn't want to get married, or they got married, but they didn't want to be parents. And so they adopted some perrijos. And so my question is, what is it? Is it animal worshipping?
I believe is great because it's an no person a natural life creature life.
An alive creator.
A life creator. And a person who didn't have children care the animals is great.
That's it. All right. Thank you very much. Viri, who's next?
I don't know who passed.
So why don't we ask for some volunteers? All right, Francisco, welcome.
Okay. I want to talk about another region in India where people worship serpents.
Snakes.
Yeah. I don't remember the name of the town because it was a little difficult to remember.
To remember and to pronounce.
To pronounce, yes. There is a little how do you say templo?
Temple.
A little temple where people praise for the serpent god, and I don't remember either the name of the god, but there are serpents falling down, and maybe you can catch them with your neck or something like that. But the point is that people is interested in related animals. We know how do you say relacionar?
Relate.
To relate animals with gods, like in the past, and it happens all around the world. Here in Mexico, we have the Xoloscuintle, for example. But it is not a god person in impersonation.
That's it. All right, thank you very much, Francisco. All right, any other volunteer?
May I, teacher?
Of course, Juan de Dios, welcome.
Thank you. Well, I had heard something about the culture in India in relation to worship the animals. It's supposed that the gods decide to come into the world in an animal. This is the reason that those people worship the animal, because those animals are the representation or about their gods. They think or they believe that those animals are their gods. This is the reason. Yes, and in relation to the Mexican culture, we have some idols like the saints. We select some saints and we put in front of the picture from them candles. something like that. We ask for them about some wishes. We ask, how to say, we ask them.
We ask them for their favors.
Yes, exactly. This is our tradition. I am thinking something like that about our tradition, worshiping idols like them.
Yeah, you know what I heard about people in Sinaloa? That the narcos worship Malverde. Malverde was supposed to be a narco also, and he protected many people there, and he brought benefits and well, a very good lifestyle to people in his town. So they decided to make him saint.
Yes, even we invented that saints.
All of those saints. All right, thank you very much. Any other volunteer? No? Let's go.
Me, teacher.
All right, Hector, we listen to you.
For example, in the Egyptian culture, the cats were venerated. They were adopted by the Egyptian because they believe that they have they have or they believe in a good in a I don't know good female good like Macbeth. She was a female good and was considered in a legend. This legend relate that a cat killed a snake and a snake and this for this reason they was considered that they that I don't know is
divinity. Yes, they were considered
okay divinity.
A divinity. Wow.
They were considered a divinity.
Wow.
For example, they represent like with a body. This body was a mix of body of woman and head of cat. Yes, and the main place of adoration was in Bubatis, a city of the ancient Egypt.
Wow. Hey, thank you very much. That was very interesting, you know. I think that the culture has changed very much but as the time passes, as it slips away. But yes, there are many very interesting ways that people worship. All right. Any other comment? Any volunteer? Okay. You know what? Let's go to the next image. People in all of the world, in all of the times, has had the necessity of praising. They have the necessity of feeling protected by anybody else. And they have also the necessity for begging for a favor. Of course, some of them may be a little ridiculous, exaggerated. But anyway, that's the way people has needed to ask that somebody else is going to solve their problems. And guess what? Nowadays, we have different ways of idolatry or to worship. Here we are that nowadays people worship themselves. People worship money. People also tend to worship material things. Sports, celebrities, or even some devices. So what's your opinion about this? Volunteers, let's play volunteers. Hello.
Oh. Hi. Hello.
Diana? Yes.
Hello.
Okay, we listen to you, Anna.
Okay. Bueno, I think about the Dollar Tree for the technology and the smartphones and iPhone and the phones in general is dangerous because it's common the people don't care for the people in the dinner, for example, everybody see the phone and in the people en vez de las personas. So I think it's dangerous and I think or I believe to change because in the future don't say for the people only for your phone.
That's it. All right, Anna, thank you very much. That was pretty interesting. Any other volunteer?
Yeah.
All right. Yes, Francisco?
Thanks. I think that despite the time has passed, we weren't able to leave behind some, how do you say, lastre?
Some stones.
Some stones that were attached to us, like worship, money, or things, worship, idols. I think worship a celebrity is like worship an idol or a god. Maybe we still having the necessity of believing that in someone that there is on a high place, that is watching us from up ahead.
That's it. You know what? I totally agree with you, and I think that we have turned in some of the very important things that we have in exchange to some non-necessary things.
Yes, we're still being slaves.
Yeah, we are still slaves. That's slavery. All right, Francisco, thank you very much. Anybody else volunteer? Viri?
Yes.
And later on, Carlos.
I guess the people in this time are empty and they need to fill their heart and mind with material things they can control because don't like them. She or he wants to be. I want to be the idols, no, because she is beautiful, because she is rich, or because she is smart or wonderful. But don't take a miracle and love them, love us or love them.
That's it. They worship people. All right, thank you. Anybody else?
For example, I I am very worried because in the morning I was watching my Facebook and I discovered that the movie named Avengers Endgame, people offering 3,000 pesos to buy a ticket for the premiere. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it.
It's crazy.
That's unbelievable. Yes, that's it. That's the top. We don't have limits. All right. Well, you know what? I think that we could continue talking and talking for a long time about this interesting topic, but we have already finished. I thank you so much for your attention, for your participation, and for your attendance, of course. So thank you very much and meet you next class.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Everybody. See you again.
Thank you.
Meet
Have
you
a good night.
class. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Likewise.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.